presidential aqua.
I'm proud of Nigeria despite the challenges. I had an American green card. I gave it up. I'm not excited about it. If I was crazy about it, I would keep my green card and eventually qualify for citizenship.
More than ever before in the history of our nation, this is the worst instability we are facing. In fact, this is worse than the Civil War. Today, there are a lot of misgiving, a lot of misinterpretations of what is happening. We cannot pretend that we are capable of confronting the situation in our hands.
Editors Hangout, where journalists gather to dissect the pulse of our world. We are not just reporters, we are the guardians of truth and justice, with our pens and mouth sharp enough to pierce through society ills for humanity and a better country. Don't miss out, because when journalists speak, the world listens. Tune in to your Shining Supreme radio station and be part of the conversation every Wednesday from 11 o'clock to 12 noon. Editors Hangout, the meeting point of journalist by journalist for humanity, society, and the country.
Good morning and thank you for staying with us on your Shining Supreme radio station, Diamond 88.7 FM, right here in the beautiful city of Ilorin, the capital of Kwara State, North Central Nigeria. It's time for the show Editors Hangout, where seasoned journalists and editors converge to discuss and dissect headlines that steer national conversation. Today we'll be examining the APC nomination form and the timetable released by the ruling party in the nation. Also taking a critical look at the three-horse battle within the ADC. The crisis within the ADC keeps tearing up day after day. Just $1 million question on when we are going to see the end of the crisis. And we'll be looking at that, discussing it critically on the show this morning. My name is ADEYEMI. I'm joined by my fellow auditors, journalists in the studio, and together we'll be lending our voice to educate and enlighten the listener, and if possible, providing our own professional solutions to some of the political and probably governance issues that we'll be discussing this morning. With me in the studio is the General Manager of Diamond FM, Mr. Michael Abiodun Lariwaju Mao for short. Good morning to you. How are you doing?
Good morning, dear Uncle, and good morning to our listeners all over the world.
I also have with me Mr. Abiodun Akinwumi. Mr. Abiodun, good morning to you.
Good morning, and I'm happy to be here again.
And also is Alhaji Akinlulu Abayomi. Good morning to you, Alhaji.
Good morning, dear Uncle Man. Good morning, Nigerians.
And also just walking into the studio is Mr. Abayomi Adeniji. Good morning to you.
Good morning, and thank you for having me.
Good morning, Pastor. It's nice to have you, Jeremy.
Thank you, Yakoma. Good morning, Avila, listeners at home. Good morning.
It's a full house in the studio, and it's nice to obviously see everybody's face again to discuss some critical issue in our dear nation, Nigeria. We'll come back from this quick commercial break and we get into the nitty-gritty of our discussion. Stay with us. Welcome back from that commercial break. Good morning, Reverend J. Felix. It's nice to have you join us.
Thank you, my brother. Good morning.
Good morning, dear colleagues. Let's get into the nitty-gritty of our discussion. Let's start from what is happening with the ruling party. Should we start from the ruling party or the ADC? Let's start from the. I think we should start from the. We should start from the ADC. I want to believe the ruling party. the ruling party will take us into several places in terms of their nomination. Let's start from the ADC. The crisis within the ACC has been discussed and discussed and discussed. Literally, an average Nigerian will think that by now, when we are getting into probably the business end of the political era in Nigeria, when the deadline seems to be thickening and thickening fast, you expect every political party to be putting their house in order. The SDP did that, I think, during this week, and INEC has recognized them, gave them the go-ahead. The PDP, whether we like it or not, at a point it seems like they are a time bomb, but they seem to be having a bit of succor in that regard, just a bit of stability at least that they can hold on to. What's the problem with the ADC? We think the drama is ending. It's just court and INEC that we started with. Now we are having functions and functions from different angles. On the national angle right now, just last week, we were talking about 2 factions on the national angle. Now, we have 3 factions in the ADC. Chairman Mawole, let me start with you. It seems like a journey that we've not seen before in the Nigerian political space. What is happening within the ADC? Less than 2 weeks or 3 weeks to their deadline. And we're having another faction. Is there an end to this political battle, like I love to call it?
It's so interesting, but also disgusting. Because as of now, a serious political party will have gotten their acts together. As it is now, we have 3 main blocks in the ADC. We have the David Mark Aragbesola leadership block. We have that of Nafiu Mohammed Gombe's block, and we have that of Kachiku Temitope block. Now the 3 blocks are really locked on, and they are more or less like a do or die game now.
Now, before we dive into the talks around it, there are talks from every factions of those blocks. One of those talks is the tape of the president, was former House of Rep member Femi Gbajabiamila, that was released earlier this. Before we get into those conversations, Mao, can you please enlighten our listener? Each block, what are their own concerns? Why are they in a position where they are putting the party in disarray? At least for Wike and the PDP, it is well spelled out. He wasn't given the presidential ticket. They have an agreement. That's what he's claiming. The other party feels like there's no agreement. It is a fair battle in the ballot boxes. And that's where the PDP started from. But from the ADC, which before they have these big powers, nobody know them. Nobody recognize them. They're just doing their thing. For all these functions, what are their own claims?
The claims is just power. Nothing but power. Because if you look at it, ADC has been existing for some time, and nobody knows much about the ADC as a political party. But suddenly, the powerful from the PDP and some other party, the coalition, came into the party. When they got to the party, there was a change. Then suddenly there was this issue of hijack of in the leadership. So when the issue of hijack came up,
which of those functions is talking about leadership hijack?
The Nafiu Mohammed Gombe is talking of the David Mark Aregbesola and the other coalition coming into hijack power from the existing leadership. And Rafun Wosu, who was the national chairman, was alleged to have single-handedly sold out the party.
What about the third function? At least for the first 2 functions justified.
The third faction, Kachiku Temitope, are mostly Kachiku was the presidential candidate of ADC in 2023.
So what's his own grievances?
So their own grievances was that they are the major national working committee member who should have been given the know-how before the final decision is taken on relinquishing of the leadership. And before the relinquishing of leadership, there was nothing like national working committee meeting. There was nothing like convention, either congresses and convention that would have actually led to the transfer of power. Then moreover, there is so much emphasis on the sections that says that at least to become a national leader within the party, you must have been the party for at least 2 years.
Like Mr. Barami, let me bring you in on this. I would not want us to delve into the fact that these big wigs that come into this party is a miscalculation, because I want to believe in previous edition of the show we have established the fact that it is a miscalculation from them to come into the ADC without doing the proper thing, joining the ADC. But let's look at some of those functions that we have. Nofi Bala, why do you have to wait until this time? Because there were photos and videos of him even when that party was going to be given to the Senator David Mark faction, that he was present. Yeah, I knew the presidential candidate have been speaking even from the time they took the party, but he didn't go to court. It wasn't this vocal. Why is he also waiting for now that it feels like there's a deadline to hit before all of them are now speaking?
When you have a politician of the like of Atiku, David Mark, Aregbe, Bolaji Abdullahi, Rotimi Amechi coming together, describing themselves as a coalition, one would have thought that they would have done a lot of extensive research on the reality of Nigerian politics. While politics is not mathematics, whether we like it or not, we can use knowledge of the past to interpret or attempt a prediction of the way it will go. Nigerian politics has always had a majoritarian, strong party tendency. I'm not saying whether it is good or bad, but I'm saying that is the reality. In the First Republic, we have...
When you mean the word majoritarian, let's break it down because of our
majoritarian. I mean a party that wants to control everything.
Okay.
We had the NCNC MPC alliance that took power in the First Republic, the first round of elections. That alliance controlled 2 of the then 3 regions. All they were after was to break the third party, which was the Action Group. They succeeded by removing Akintola from Action Group and the 4-1 party called NNDP. In the Second Republic, the Third Republic was stillborn. In the Second Republic, Shagari's MPN changed from One Nation, One Destiny in 1979 to superpower in 1983. And what were they doing? They were capturing opposition leaders. Akinowo Borioma, Olaya Fagbamigbe, Busari Adelakun, Sunday Michael Afolabi. These were juggernauts of the UPN. They were captured by the MPN to bolster their power. So you see, there has been a trend. The same thing, if you now go to the micro level, in Kano, what has been since the First Republic is still repeating itself. One big man who wants to control everybody, then one small man comes out under him and says, oh, guy, is enough, and moves to another direction. So coming back to this issue, I believe that particularly the constitutional requirement of being a party member for 2 years in the ADC, how could they have overlooked that? What type of consultants did they employ? So then in all this, let's not forget that politics is about strategy and counter strategy. The Democrats in the US, they supported abortion. But you see, a very heavily populated Christian belt called the evangelical right did not want abortion. And Trump said he will, if they support him, he will make sure that they overturn the law permitting abortion. And so it's strategy and counter strategy. The Democrats were supporting same-sex
So what you're trying to say is, just to bring it in lay terms for better understanding to our listener, is for all those functions, everybody is just trying to fight for their own interests. Look for strategy that best fits them.
That is it. That is it. You know?
But should you not be at the expense of the party? Now let's look at the big with the articles. Reverend, let me quickly bring you on this because of our time. Now, bringing in the likes of Atiku and the likes, they want to be in that election. They want to be on the polling units. With the way everything is looking and with the time frame, is it realistic for them to start looking for another party? Or they should just stick through with the ADC?
Right now, it's just too late. It's just too late. When you look at the INEC timetable, it's just too late.
The electoral timetable.
If you look at that, it's just too late.
They can't look for another party.
It is just too late. If they look for another party now, they're not going to find it very easy. The one thing, just like my colleague was saying, is that the politics in this part of the country or in this part of the world, Nigeria specifically, is that it's self-interest, not about the interest of the masses. If they are talking about the interest of the masses, I expect that they will have made contact, consult, and do all these things, and not overlook some of this and everything. But the strategy was so bad; they just feel we are in charge.
We are big.
We have everything. We are pleased. They can do whatever they can do. You understand me?
But those that are fighting them, why didn't they make noise when they came back then?
That is the problem. You see, those that are fighting them, try to understand. Those that are fighting them are people who have been on the ground. They will be people who have been running the party, and they know what this thing. They know what they want. You understand? These big men jobs from nowhere.
But my question: why can't they fight them then? Why did they have to wait now?
If they fight them, then what will they benefit?
Alaji, you are shaking your head. Let me bring you.
What is the benefit?
Because I actually expect another list. But the thing is this: all the political parties, all the major political parties are having inter-party conflicts. That of APC is on a silent mode because there is a precedent, a sitting president, who people will respect whether they see him or not. So they will believe that whatever they do, if it will be like they are demarketing the party. But the other one that I also want to address is the fact that that is why the people who came up with the idea of democracy, in their own wisdom, they have three branches of government: judiciary, legislature, and executive. The judiciary is supposed to step in and ensure that they take remedial measures once they notice that things are going hurry. And today, the Supreme Court will be taking a decision or taking decisions on matters that have to do with PDP, LP, and ADC. So definitely whatever they say will determine what will happen going forward. Then the other thing is, it is very clear that the ADC leaders, they did do, I'm referring to the opposition figures, like
the Senator DB Bank faction
and others, they didn't do due diligence. Because, I noticed that my senior colleagues, one of them was making reference to the fact that we are supposed to spend 2 years in a party before seeking to become a leader. But I want to also call our attention to this fact. There are rooms for discretionary decisions, and you can also give a waiver. If Bala had not raised objection, even if they join today and they elect them as leader tomorrow, once nobody has complained, it is an internal fair matter. So it's not the clear thing was that they didn't do due diligence by ensuring that all the stakeholders were involved before taking over the control of the party.
Mr. Akin, I was going somewhere when I was asking that why did they have to wait till now? And there's where I was going to is what we saw from Bajabi Amila recently. And this is a pointer that I've been pointing to Mr. President. It's unfortunate that we are getting closer to this thing, and some are of the opinion that the more we are getting closer to the heat of the moment, we are getting closer to the truth. Because over time of this show, we've discussed that the problems in the opposition party, and people have criticized Mr. President of just saying he's an advocate of democracy, but he's killing democracy in the country. Now, looking at what if chief of staff have just said,
what did
in the video, telling them that you can stay in the party, don't come to APC, don't come to APC, remain in that party to, you know. Is it just him delivering the message of his boss? Because that's what the opposition parties
what is wrong with that?
Are tagging it to mean.
Okay, well, I think it's not new that the ruling party will start to destabilize the opposition party. It's part of the game. So and I think
it's part of the it's part of the game to destabilize the opposition party.
Your opponent.
Is that not against democracy? Are you
No,
not
it's
supposed to
not. It is superior strategy.
Now
It's a game.
It is the opposition.
That's why I gave you all that history lesson. It has always been like that.
So it is the opposition that's supposed to make sure that their house
Put
is
your house in order.
because like even the president when he was in AD have 6 governors in 1999. At the 2003 election, AD decided to support Obasanjo for second term.
And that was their greatest undoing.
And that was their greatest undoing. So and later at the end of the day, when Tinubu discovered that the leaders will not allow him to talk about the party, they have a faction, his faction and
Adesanya.
there was time that this man Agbosho Akinfenwa too. He moved and go and form his own party. So the crisis in AD that time, Obasanjo cannot be taken out of it.
So, he was behind it.
So Tinubu is behind the crisis that these ones are also facing.
No, it may not be directly, but he's saying it that we are behind you, help us to destabilize our opponent, our enemy. So is it the opposition party that are not put their house together?
But what I want to know is should that be permitted in democracy?
It is part of it is democracy.
Let us
it's not all permitted or not permitted.
Politics is a game of conspiracy.
Yes. Have you been following the British House of Commons recently?
It is.
Of how the Barry somebody is always supporting he is the swing that determines whether it is Labour or Conservative that gets to power. It is standard part of it is superior strategy.
So you see what we see
they
now
were sleeping.
Is just the hand of Esau and the voice of Jacob. Simple. It's allowed.
So it's normal.
It's normal. So you mentioned Safolabi the other time. I think that was
some will also say now if we are establishing the fact that it's normal, some will also say what about what is happening to El-Rufai? Is that also normal? Because the opposition figures feel like it is a means to just keep him away from politics, that these are some of the strategies of the current administration, and some say it's saddening because it's killing democracy.
It's not killing democracy. What we need is Democrats that can think out of the box. You see, this place you are sitting, did they call you from your house and put you there? You went through a process before you got there. And in anything, in any human situation, it is once there is a good thing. So and the leadership of Nigeria and Kato Dani. So people are contesting. And they are using all they have, including their brains, their money, and any other available resources.
Is there fairness in competing? That's fairness. The question.
Wait. Hold on. Let me tell you the meaning of fairness. Somebody will work in the Kwara State government, for example, for 35 years and retire with 230,000 as his highest salary. Somebody will finish university today from NYSC will go and become commissioner. Is that fair? The whole world is about conflict and collaboration, discord and cooperation. If you like, sadness and joy. Yoruba will say TBT go together.
Alhaji.
So what is fair to you may not be fair to another.
You've inquired. Let me get your opinion quickly on this. We need to leave this ADC issue and back and forth.
Well, I want to say, and I've said it once during one of the programs, that we have witnessed what I would refer to as democratic backsliding under the APC, and people who continue to cheer them on. It's okay, no problem. But all I know is this: if it is democracy that we want, and if it is democracy that we prefer as the best system of government, we must do everything humanly possible to ensure that we don't lose it. And unfortunately, we're having people who are in charge now, and they fought for democracy. They actually fought for democracy, and they even suffered for it. So what you suffered for, if you cannot keep and cherish it, if you lose it, so be it.
Alhaji, you also think he's Mr. President, like some have been saying, that he wants to be like a godfather, he wants to be there for more than 2 terms. Are you seeing a step like that? Because he has been accused of that.
I don't blame Mr. President. I blame people around, people who are in power, who are in positions of authority, who are psychopaths, who prefer not to tell them the truth. And in most cases and in most instances, if out of 10 decisions, the president or the governor may not even be aware of 6, they will do it and they will now inform such a person. And you don't want to deny your people. So that was why I made us say that we Nigerians, if we are interested, democracy is the best form of system, the best system of government that we want. Yes, and if we want it, we must ensure that we do it the way it should be done. We do things the way things should be done, not to.
Okay, let me now ask you the question. You said we should do it the way it's meant to be done. What do you think the president should have done differently to promote democracy, looking at such scenarios that we have in the opposition?
Thank you very much. An aspect or a sector where the president has gotten 99 over 100 is politics. Everything about his decisions has been political. It has to do with politics. You see, you don't have to do that. You don't have to prioritize that. What should be the priority is to ensure that you leave the country better than you met it. Because the president has done his best, is trying, I would say he's trying, but everything has been like politics, all decisions. For example, Rivers State, we had a sitting governor. The president was the governor himself. When he had issues with the leaders of his party, and the leaders of the party were supporting his deputy governor, what did he do to that deputy? He was the governor, the chief executive of the state, and he asserted his authority.
He removed the deputy?
Of course. Even the door that led to his office, that the deputy governor could, they plugged it. So he had 3 deputy governors.
Alhaji, I just asked that, what do you think he should have done differently?
That is what I'm saying. That he should not, he's trying, but he should do more of. I'm not saying that he's a politician, yes, but decisions and steps that will be taken should not be based on politics.
What you're saying is you support him sacking USM Wiki from his cabinet because of what has happened in the PDP. Is that what you're saying?
Of course, he over-indulged Wiki.
You would have sacked Wiki because he has problem with the PDP.
Of course, I will have done that.
I would
not because he has problem with you.
Of course, I will have sacked him.
I would disagree with you. Because you can't ask him to sack Wiki. You see, the problem, let's look at the genesis of the problem. The genesis of our problem is the type of democracy we are playing. One, the power is just too more concentrated than it was. We need to overhaul, review the system, review the system, overhaul the system. If not, we still continue to have this kind of problem. So every focus, everything, everybody, look. I heard from, this just information. Some people wanted to leave their party. They met them. They said, you see, don't leave your party. Stay where you are. Just do this. This is part of the problem. So I will support a situation where we don't have more than one term. If presidency, governorship, if you have one term, we will not be having, some of these problems will be solved.
But you have 6 years.
6 years. If you have 6 years or 5 years, either 5 or 6 years, like single term, we go a long way to help, because we have so much weaponized poverty, hardship, and all these things everybody is. Look at politicians. The moment they are not in power for 4 years, you ask them to stay at home for 4 years. They can't do that. They can't. Let's look at the APC themselves. But before we leave this ADC thing, is there a way back from them? Are we going to be seeing the ADC on the ballots in 2027?
They will be on the ballot, but who will be on the ballot?
No, that's their problem. At least so far they are on the ballot. They can solve that.
Well, I think the Supreme Court judgment today is will be. So I think we should wait.
Let's wait.
It is the Supreme Court that will determine who controls PDP today. Who controls ADC and who controls NDC.
So let's wait till the judgment. That judgment will determine where they are going. Because my fear is, I think it's too late for them to go to another party.
It's too late.
Mao, you want to add something quickly before we leave?
It's too late.
One cannot predict end of the road for ADC, but I don't see any serious politicking taking place in the ADC with this crisis.
Thank you very much. Phone number is open 0913-655-6952. 0913-655-6952. That's the number to call in the studio. 0913-655-6952. WhatsApp is 0913-655-6864. Hello, good morning. Your name and where you're calling from?
Yes, I did Godwin from Lajori, sir.
Good morning to you, Mr. Godwin from Lajori.
What happened is that Burkina Faso government said it that democracy and trade in African countries is it also in Nigeria now? Now what happened? Somebody spoke the truth yesterday. He was removed from office with immediate and alacrity. What are we saying? No need to say ourselves. One day we shall die. Go to heaven. First judgment. It's a pity. Democracy has failed. We are going to say ourselves. Let us do democracy for these people, advanced countries like America, UK. But in Nigeria, let us go back to our former state. No need to say ourselves.
Thank you very much, Mr. Godwin from Lajori, for your opinion. But I also think we need to clarify something. I want to believe you're talking about the Minister of Finance that was removed yesterday. We were not told officially he was removed because he said anything, any truths that should not have been said.
Then another thing, Nigerians are getting carried away. Niger, Mali, Burkina Faso, Guinea, they are the poorest countries in the world.
And they are not the military.
And since the military has come, they have not been able to check either the insurgency or the material poverty. So people should not get carried away.
Hello, good morning. Your name and where you're calling from?
Good morning.
Good morning. Your name and where you're calling from? Good morning to you, Mr. Sadiq.
I salute everybody on YouTube. You are doing a very clever job.
Good morning, thank you.
One of the clever speakers spoke about the politics about strategy and pattern. Yeah, I think this administration knew, I think Tinubu was once a leader of the opposition during the military era. So, to me, in my own view, he knew all these strategies to counter all these people. And these people that are moving from one party to the other to counter them, they are just a learner. In my own view, they are just a learner. Because Tinubu is the father, is one of the boy of Awolowo and all these people that are doing. So he knew all these opposition policies. So Yoruba would say,
Thank you very much for your opinion. 0913-655-6952. That's the number to call. WhatsApp is 0913-655-6864. Hello, good morning. Your name and where you're calling from? Good morning to you.
My contribution is one. Hancock is so very a religious person. The Nigeria of today, this administration, they don't care about religion. They don't care about politics. It's not going to work if we don't put religion there. I want to tell you something. I am a Gabon. That statement is now seen now. If you look, I am Gabon. So we all know what is Gabon. It's like every emperor. See, this is the problem with your face. If we don't take the truth now, the truth is forced to kill us. We are telling you, you start minister of finance. What of we have been telling you to start the minister of power? We are just resigning now. You see the problem we are facing. The people we have been carrying away, and it's very unfortunate. We are struggling. We have the hardship is too much, and it doesn't kill. Just about 2027. He cannot get caught out. Let us be the country of that one. Let him put that on aside. But if that second time is there, if we don't control it now, we will do the same thing. We bring it short time, and the hardship will continue forever and never. And we pray that will not happen in Nigeria. So let us be the reality. Not the reality.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you very much, Mr. Rotime from Uro. 0913-655-6952. 0913-655-6864. Let's move to the ruling party, the APC. Just a bit of information in terms of their nomination form. The APC right now are saying you want to get nomination form, an intention of interest. Both of them combined is 100 million naira. 30 million For the
For which office?
For president. For president, 100 million. 30 million, 70 million for the expression, 30 million for expression of interest, and 70 million for nomination form. For the governorship aspirant, you have 10 million for expression of interest and 40 million for the nomination form. While we also have it like that for the House of Rep, those that are seeking senatorial seat, 3 million for expression of interest, 17 million for nomination form. House of Representative, you have 1 million for expression of interest and 9 million for nomination form. So that's one is in combination of 10 million, but 100 million for anybody that want to become the president. The first question just is kind of comical. Is there anybody challenging the president?
They are free.
They are free to challenge now. No, in terms of freedom, there's the freedom. You are free to challenge.
That's what we call democracy.
But the way I'm seeing it,
but everybody have endorsed him like the consensus candidate.
When I'm seeing
Still, it does not mean that that you cannot contest.
Okay, but now let's
the way I'm seeing it, that APC will not make much from this coming election because we did nomination form. The way I'm seeing it, because what they are doing is consensus. So if I'm not sure that I will be picked, I will not pick the form. So the way I'm seeing it, those that will the candidate that want to.
Well,
they may still not go that way. They may still not go that way. They may still leave it open, and at the end, you know the way they've been doing it, and at the end they will settle other people.
Now, before we come into that, the monies we are calling, there are some that have a problem with it. 100 million for presidential ticket, and some will tell you that it's a time where we are clamoring for the youth to be involved in politics and in power.
Who is clamoring?
How?
Who is the way that is clamoring for the youth?
What was the amount that was used in 2023? Was it not 100 million?
Is it not too much? How do you get a young man to
it's not
produce
something
100
that I
million?
just started today.
Actually, then it's too much, but now it's not even too much because it's like.
Oh, it's not too. It's too much then, but not too much now.
When you look at the inflation level,
the value
now,
the monetary value of.
But what about when you look at how people can get money to obtain it? Because we just spoke about poverty rate and the likes in the nation.
We have given you one example now. So you are going too far. Just now. How much is level 17, the highest grade in the civil service in Nigeria? I don't know about the federal government, but the Kwara State, I don't think it's up to 300,000. The highest. So that means that all your salary from the day you start working to the end, you cannot contest office. Do you understand? So already, like Reverend Ajide was saying, there are issues, salient issues in the way we are running our politics. But these issues will not go away. And unfortunately, there is a tendency in Nigeria to reward corruption. Unfortunately. But whether you like it or not, this is the system we have. So if you are not satisfied with APC, go and join PRP now. Or any other. I think we have up to 19 or thereabout political parties. I don't know the latest number now.
Now about 21.
So you go and join the one of your choice and contest election. Of course,
where they will not ask you to pay.
Where they will not ask you to pay 100 million. It's a very simple thing.
Alhaji,
then you see another thing. How will you really even contest election if you don't have hundreds of millions of naira?
Billions.
No, I'm just trying to be because you see. Let's look at Kwara State. 193 wards.
I'm coming to Kwara State, but before I really come to because right now we're having about 50 million for the governorship ticket. And I've seen some candidates who have gone to pick up expression of interest. That's about 10 million. We'll come back and talk about the pretenders and the contenders when it comes to Kwara State's political landscape for that governorship ticket. But Alhaji, quickly on the national level, you seem to not have a problem also with the 100 million.
Well, I don't see anything wrong with it because presidential system of government is very, very expensive. And like one of the callers said, the way we practice democracy in Nigeria, if we don't need it, let us know. If we need it, then we'll do it the way it should be done. How much did Obama have when he wanted to become president? In the US, in developed countries, someone becomes popular, people like him or her, and they start to
Make
contribute.
contributions.
But in Nigeria, it is the candidate, the aspirant.
Whose problem is that? Is it the politics or the people?
That is what the people. You see, in your area, you know someone who has always been passionate about matters that have to do with the community. Then they need a councillor. You are still waiting for somebody to come from Lagos with money. Why don't you nominate that poor man in your area that you have seen that this is someone who is always active whenever matters that have to do with the community? He will be going bring money. He will be coordinating, and they need a councillor. You are still waiting for somebody that has millions. They need the House of Assembly member.
Or the governor to send you somebody.
Why don't you nominate that? So that is, I used to say I don't blame leaders. I blame Nigerians. I blame the people. In the US, a candidate will, once he's popular, once he or she is popular, they raise money, they pay for nomination fees and other things. He will even have extra funds. But in Nigeria, it is the candidate that must the day he is even declaring, he must pay for the boss that will transport people.
Just
And when they are leaving, he will still give them.
But just to not in defense of the people, some of them will say the Labour Party tried something like that in the last election, and part of the report we got was the money is part of the reason why they are fighting with Abure, who is the national chairman, because they contributed for that party. So what happened to the money that the people contributed? Who are we contributing it to?
That is the Nigerian factor.
So what? And so you cannot blame the people too, because you are giving.
Was the people who contributed money?
Yeah, at least they are the people. When you call them,
protest,
some people
made money from it.
When you call
one blast victim and the one that happened during Abacha at the London Stadium, the money that was meant to be given to the victims was embezzled. So what are you saying?
And it's not animals that embezzle it. It's human beings.
We have snake like we have snake in jam.
Yes, we have snake that can swallow money.
So when Nigerians blame leaders, why do you blame your leaders? We determine the kind of leaders, the type of leaders we want. And when we get that leader, we should not complain about him or her.
Actually, the anchor person, in all honesty, the money is not too much. Like I belong to a platform, and they're already launching, asking people to pay. The man break it down and say if everybody can pay 50,000 naira, that they will raise the 50 million naira for class. And people are already doing that. I'm telling you sincerely. I'm telling you sincerely. This is, to be frank. And people already doing it. We already got a reasonable amount of money to pick the form. But my concern now is that, like in APC, that is going to be consensus. If you pay that kind of money and you pick your form, and at the end there is no election, nothing, just somebody just raise the hand of somebody, or then what happened to the person that paid such
you source it politically? That's a problem of.
Let me hear.
Okay.
In 2019, they made an arrangement to refund some people, in Kwara State. They returned half of the money to some.
But that's politics. So that's within themselves in politics. I mean, they can political.
But are we not talking of politicians and political parties?
So they can. Let's come back to Kwara State. Looking at this money, let's come back to Kwara State. 50 million. Like I do say at Diamond FM, the last time someone came here was last week Monday. He said they are up to 23 or 21 parties. Yes. But from that time to now, we've seen like 2 or 3 people too come that picked form and also come and some of the express interest.
Like tomorrow now, the submission of interest, letter of interest will end tomorrow.
It will end tomorrow.
The party secretariat yesterday, at least not less than 4 or 5 have already submitted letter of intention.
Okay.
4 or 5, not more. They are more than
as at yesterday.
As at yesterday.
Not more than 5.
As at yesterday.
So the others are social media candidates or aspirants.
They express their interest.
Try to understand the way we play politics in the part of the world. What we do is that some of them use it to negotiate. So when you come to pay such an amount, some people will beat a retreat. You understand it? So that's why I don't argue that money is much.
So the money is a filter.
Yes. I also want to I want to make a clarification. submission of letter of intent at the state level is just like you are giving recognition to the party at the state level.
Of course.
So an aspirant may decide not to do that.
Yes, sir. And go to Abuja and collect.
What you are supposed to do is to go to Abuja and get obtain the nomination form and the interest. We call expression of interest form. So ordinarily they don't have anything to do with this party at the same level.
Are you
but
sure?
Not, yes. Yeah.
That
submission of letter of intent at the state level is just a way of showing recognition to the party.
It is, but it may have it may be counterproductive at the end of the day.
It will be because don't forget that
as if
you are supposed to join.
That was why you see we are trying to mix things up here.
Okay.
Requirements and what you just think you have to do to give someone recognition. They are
requirement and moral thing that is right.
Like you are supposed to go to Abuja, obtain the expression of interest form for 10 million and the nomination form for 40 million. The one you are doing at the state level, you may decide not to do that. Sure. Even the declaration ceremony that they are holding, you may decide not to do that. So, each aspirant has his or her own strategy.
Looking at our economic situation in Kwara, you also think 50 million is not much for us in
2019, where did the governor
declare interest?
Which venue was its declaration ceremony? He did not become the governor.
0913-655-6952. That's the number to call on the studio. Hello, good morning. Your name and where you're calling from? Mr. Rotimi, good morning to you.
Some already have been given a contract, and he's paying this money fees out of the contract they are giving to him. They have seriously know themselves, and they are using their money. Definitely, I'm telling you, they will get this money back from the contender. They will get it, either you like it or not. Either we know, we don't know it. They will get it, and because you want to worry. I told you the last time, when somebody pays 15 million to go and contest for senator, you know if you pretend that in Kwara State, you know if you pretend that you're not going to win. He doesn't have the money in his pocket. Maybe he has 10 million in his pocket. I don't think he has 10 million in his pocket or in his wallet or in his bank. But he has 10 million, go and join them and protest. Can you see the margin? This is how we are playing ourselves. Evil thing we are playing ourselves in Nigeria. We play ourselves evil too much. So we don't like Mao said, tell the real people. Tell the real people who are in the community. Go and contest and let them hold the election, not that people use exporter.
Thank you very much, Mr. Rotimi from Oro.
So we need the real people. Thank you so much. Have a nice day. God bless.
Thank you very much, Mr. Rotimi from Oro. 0913-655-6952. That's the number to call. WhatsApp is 0913-655-6864. Hello, good morning. Your name and where you're calling from?
Yeah, so they calling back from
Good morning to you.
Yeah, good morning. Yeah. We are not just doing this in this country. During 2023 election, I think the 100 million was fee for the presidential ticket. And I think this decision was just this not to increase the money. I don't believe the money has been taken to have heard people protesting. And a lot of atrocities have happened in the past administration. I'm not a politician, but I'm just being fair. I'm a Yoruba man. I'm not the APC or PDP, no. But some tribes are just want to bombard other tribes not to run. No! See, there this lake of it. I think this people that state is swallowing money. All this a lot of things. People have been trying more, a lot of protests. You know? So just let's wait and see how this goes on. Well done.
Thank you very much for your contribution. And this says the ADC should resolve conflict through give and take. They should engage a reconciliation specialist as an advisor. Political parties should monitor their vote at the polling unit and document the outcomes. They should comply with the 2026 electoral acts. There is no time for excuses. Politicians should get to work. Olade and they are from Asadem. Well, they are not even up to the extent where they have to be complying with electoral act. Even the ADC Act first, they should first find a way to sort themselves politically and have that conversation going. Hello, good morning. Your name and where you're calling from?
This is Malam. I'm calling from Okesima. Good morning to all the honorable guests.
Good morning to you, Malam.
You see, this nomination form, is very, very expensive. And in fact, I can describe it as the foundation for Nigeria corruption. Because look at Mao, look at other gentlemen in the city. Look at the way they always analyze things. In fact, if these people, if we can find them in the hands of us here, we believe Nigeria will be great. Is it possible for them to have this money, this nomination form?
Amen.
Ordinary paper? Because when we're talking about form, to me, it's just ordinary paper that will be just saying some names there. So this ordinary paper now costs 100 million naira. Don't forget, so they still need to spend other money for people before they can get to this position. So automatically, it will be a business as usual. And for Nigeria to be great, I think all the non-governmental organizations, they need to rise up to their occasion and fight this cause. Because as the things continue, I don't think we'll be able to get people, credible people, that will be at the end of our day. So God bless Nigeria. That is my question.
Thank you very much for your opinion. May God bless you too. As you pray for the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 0913-655-6952, 0913-655-6952. WhatsApp is 0913-655-6864, 0913-655-6864. Hello, good morning. Your name and where you're calling from?
Yeah, hello. Good afternoon. My name is Femi, calling from Opa.
Good morning to you, Femi.
Yeah, thank you very much. First and foremost, unfortunate that your analyst, panel of analysts, editors there. It's unfortunate that they don't see anything wrong in the horrendous and arbitrary, prices of the announced fees for the nomination funds and all of that. For me, I think the way this can be solved is for Nigerian people to move for, independent candidates. Honestly, if we promote independent candidacy, all this godfatherism, all everything associated with it, will just seemingly disappear, over time. But people have, make themselves to be so powerful and so, corrupt, and unfortunately, they even don't have anything to offer. That's the painful aspect of all of this. Nothing to offer. Between you and I, are we better off in 1999 or even in 2005, than now? So for me personally, I'm just pushing for independent candidacy and solve this issue of, exorbitant and very insulting, mongers amounts that we place on ordinary form expression and all of that. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your opinion. Pushing for independent candidacy. You think that would be the right thing for Adia Nation Nigeria, Alaji?
Well, I quickly want to react to what the last caller said. Even, I want to put it to him. If in his family now, they want to choose the Magaji, and there are no rules to ensure that the number of candidates or aspirants are limited, 100 people will come out. So if you are talking about independent candidacy, yes, it's okay. It is a good development. It will be very, very, but you see the problem is that there is always Nigerian factor in everything we do in Nigeria.
Is it Nigeria just human factor?
No, Nigerian factor. There are some countries that they allow it, but if under the councillorship, if you allow independent candidates, you discover that almost every resident want to contest.
We have 100
candidates. And then we now have a cumbersome process. So which ballot paper will contain 2,000 people?
Thank you very much for your opinion.
Everybody want to contest.
Hello,
Everybody.
Mr. Dewale, Pastor Ezekiel from Osiri. The issue of money using to take form to show interest. You asked the question the other time that how would youth show interest with this huge amount of money? And one of your guests said, did it just started now? And he said he didn't see problem in that. My question is, for the fact that it has been long, this has been in the system, must it now continue that way? What is the remedy to such? Thank you very much, Pastor Ezekiel. its amount to wickedness or any part of governors who for now paying less than 500,000 naira to a worker and less than 300,000 naira to any retiree, having considered the rate achieve fuel, electricity, food, medical, school fees, transportation, to mention but a few, now cost in the market of today. There are countries where they pay 1 million naira per month and above, and petrol pump price sold for 1,000 naira only. Most civil servants and retirees are subjecting to a system beggars. Retirees and all civil servants of the Federation should shine their eyes to our leaders. While people say Asana today, you should expect crucifixion tomorrow. Prince Bankole Owa Kajola. Thank you very much for your lengthy opinion and contribution. Thank you to the listener for taking our time to be with us on the show this morning. Thank you to my fellow colleagues, and a very big thank you to the producer of this show, Mr. Michael Olaniwaju Mau for short. He is the brain behind why we come here, like I do see every Wednesday, for the show editors and Hangout. And do not forget, like I say every Wednesday, remember to always say a word of prayer for the Federal Republic of Nigeria, because you do not have another country, and Nigeria will be great. God bless Nigeria from here. Good morning.
Baby Tani go fẹ́ wá tó sọ pé no. She no know say one day man go blow. Life now one by one.